Welcome to Be a Blessing with Mitch and Wendy, a no-holds-barred guide to being the best you can be so that you can be a blessing to your family, friends, and everyone you meet. Be a Blessing is about life, from parenting to building a business and building yourself. Mitch and Wendy will cover it all. So buckle up and prepare to get uncomfortable because growth only comes from the other side of a challenge.
Hey, welcome to episode 2 of Be a Blessing with Mitch and Wendy.
I thought I was doing that.
Not today. Okay. Anyways, today we're talking about goal setting. Goal setting is basically shrunken down your dreams, the dreams that you have for your life, the things that you aspire to do. Goals are your dreams with work boots on. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think goals have a finite aspect to them, to where they're, something that's off in the future but attainable. So definitely they're dreams and they have work boots. I like that. Did you read that somewhere?
No, not really. I stole it. But got some strobe lights going on in here.
Is it me? So that's fine. Let's keep rolling. Let's rolling. Let's go. That's good.
All right. So, anyways, we're talking about goal setting. Mitch, break it down how goal setting has been instrumental in going to forming your business, in your relational aspects, professionally and personally, anything that you've done in your life. How important are goals to you?
Well, I think first, goal setting to me is the one thing that can completely change your life. It's changed my life from how I handle my personal life, from my fitness to my eating, how I've operated in business, how I've operated in relationships. So for me, there's a method, there's this secret sauce to being successful. And I think what a lot of people do in different categories, they look at other people and they think they must be cheating. Like they must be doing something that I'm, that I haven't figured out yet. Or
look at that car, they selling drugs.
Oh, or if they're out performing you in some way, they'll pull you to the side, man. Hey, what are you really doing? Like what's the magic? What's the secret sauce? Like the guy that's really ripped, what supplements are you taking? Are you on steroids? Or what food are you eating? What pill are you taking? Whatever it is, like there's always this, when somebody's outperforming us, out doing us in some form or fashion, it's like we always immediately, myself included, have this idea that they're doing something, and the something's not the work. The something is the easy way out, the hack. What's the hack? And there is no hack. Here's the hack. I'm about to give you the hack.
I agree. Like human nature, first instinct is easy way out. I just want to eat. I want to go from point A to point B as quick as I can. I don't want to go through the molasses of hard work, grit, early mornings, late nights, energy spent, time away from family, sacrificing on food choices. I want to get to my result.
Yeah.
Give it to me now.
So here's the hack, okay? The hack is this. Set a goal, put an action plan that reflects you getting to that goal, okay? Execute that every single day, and then be open to accountability. That right there is the path to success in everything that you do. Whether it's a relationship, you want to have a great marriage, okay, set a goal, set some goals on how you want to accomplish that, put a plan together, execute that plan every day.
Break it down with an example.
Hold yourself accountable.
Real fast.
Okay, so for marriage, if my marriage is lacking in, let's say I'm not good at physical touch, which that's not my love language. My love language is words.
Anybody that knows Mitch knows he's not a hugger.
Not a hugger, I'm a side hugger. But let's say your love language is physical touch. So part of me doing better as a husband and this marriage working well, speaking love that communicates to you is, okay, my goal is I'm going to incorporate 7 ways every day that I'm going to physically communicate love to you, all right? So what's the plan? In the morning, I'm going to kiss you good morning. Before I leave for work, I'm going to give you a hug. Whenever you're washing dishes, I'm going to grab your butt. So I'm going to list 7 different ways throughout the day that I'm going to show that to you. I'm going to execute that every day and then hold myself accountable when I don't. Boom. That's how you do it. Okay, I want to get fit. That's my goal. I want to lose 40 pounds. Okay, What do I need to do to lose 40 pounds? Here's the action plan. I'm going to lift on these days, and make sure it's specific, right? Have a specific goal, 30 pounds. Make sure the action plan, I'm going to work out. No, it needs to be, I'm going to work out on these days. When I get to the gym, here's what the workouts are going to be. Do it every single day. Hold yourself accountable.
And in that specific category, it's very important to have a plan. Knowing when you go into the gym, what specific body parts am I working out today? What are the movements? What machines am I moving? Because if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. If you don't have something mapped out every single day, very specific, that's important on this.
Yeah, I think a lot of folks, when they have goals, they're not specific enough, or if they do get specific, then their action plan doesn't reflect the goal. It's not going to get to the goal. You know, a lot of people, I'm going to work out on these days, great, and they get to the gym and they're overwhelmed. They don't know what to do. And there's even times, and I've been working out a long time, I'm not prepared, and I'm thinking as I'm driving to the gym at 4 a.m., my brain's barely working. Okay, I'm doing shoulders today. What workouts are we going to do? I should plan that ahead of time so that when I get to the gym, I'm not wasting time mentally thinking about what to do. I can get there and put all of my energy into doing the workout. So all those things are important. In business, we launched this business last year right before pandemic, and we had a goal of writing a certain amount of insurance premium. Now, I don't want to get too insurancy on these guys, but here's how specific it was. We had a big goal to write X amount of premium by the end of the year. And we reverse engineered that down to what we had to do every day. Every day we needed to write this amount of insurance premium to accomplish our long-term goal for the year. And we held ourselves accountable to it every single day. And when we got to the end of the year, guess what we did? We attained the goal. There was no secret sauce. There was no hack. The hack was we had a goal. We put a plan together. We executed the plan every day, and we held ourselves accountable. Every single day. And the days that we didn't do it well, we held ourselves accountable and we worked a little extra the following day.
And whenever you met the goal, did you ever let off the gas?
No, and that's where I think where a lot of people fail, especially when it comes to business goals. Let's say their daily goal is, I want to have, 5 sales today, right? Every day I want to have 5 sales. I want to sell 5 things every day. Well, let's say they sell 10 things in that day. Man, they overachieved that day. Guess what most people are going to do? The next day they're going to throw their feet up on the desk and they're going to phone it in, and they're not going to put forth the effort because
they're going to look.
Yeah. They're going to Facebook, they're going to waste time and not be efficient. And then guess what happens? Now, the following day when they get back to work, when they're actually working, they may have a bad day and only sell 2 things. Yep. And so now when they could have got so far ahead, they decided to phone it in. And then they worked hard the 3rd day, but only got 2 sales. So now they're behind when they could have been way ahead.
Exactly.
So that's where that holding yourself accountable comes. Accountability is huge. But we can talk about all different types of aspects. Being a great father or a great mother, that's a goal. What are you going to do? What's the action plan? Hold yourself accountable and execute it. I mean, all these things. The hard part is executing it every day.
Executing it every single day. Like for me personally, I've been trying to lose weight since 1982. And I am, I finally got a piece of equipment in my home that I know without a doubt I will use every single day.
It's a Peloton. She's been begging for a Peloton, and then she bought her a Peloton. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. So, but there's some days I do not feel like getting on it. I am tired. I mean, we get up at 3:30 in the morning every single morning, sometimes even on the weekends because we just papa. But
because we're badasses.
Okay, and so some mornings I'm just not feeling it. I don't have the energy. I didn't sleep well, but I have to tell myself, Wendy, you don't do things based on how you feel. You do things based on who you are. And I'm not somebody who wants to make excuses. I'm not somebody who wants to put on my office pants and they're too tight. Just being honest. So I have to tell myself, you will do this. It's only 45 minutes or an hour of your life. You will get on this thing and you will do it. Because at the end of it, when I push through whatever I'm feeling, I'm so proud of myself at the end. Because I know I can do hard things. I know riding a bike ain't hard, but you get what I'm saying.
I rode the bike so hard the other day, my head almost exploded. I had to stop. True story. It was crazy.
Anyways.
My name's Mitch Oley on Peloton if you want to follow me. I'm going to change it to Sweaty Mitch, though, because I sweat a lot. And it's kind of funny because it sounds like Sweaty Bitch. So there you go. But anyway, getting back to, let's talk about goals. So you said goals were dreams with four-wheel drive tires and Tonka trucks.
That's exactly what I said.
I like that analogy.
Put it on a bumper sticker.
So
Yes.
you and I kind of have opposing views on goal setting, right? I kind of come from the school of thought that you should set like audacious, ridiculous goals. Like goals that you don't know if you're going to be able to attain them, but are going to require you to do just massive amounts of work.
Mitch is like, I want to lose weight, so much weight that I'm invisible. And I'm like, I want to just lose 15 pounds, you know? And that's the difference between
Wendy's
us.
more of the, I'm going to set small attainable goals and that'll get me along the process. I'm more of, I'm going to shoot for Pluto, maybe I'll land on Jupiter. Or maybe I'll land on Pluto, but if I don't, I probably got to Jupiter. But I wouldn't have got to Jupiter had I not shot for Pluto. That's kind of my theory on goal setting, is go as high as when we opened up this agency, we had a huge goal. And with only one person plus another, we didn't know if we could get it. We worked hard and we did. So set high goals is kind of my goal, my theory. Wendy is set attainable goals. Neither one is wrong, whatever works for you. I think that's what's right.
Self-confession, I've realized that I set attainable goals, things I know are within my reach. That's where I sell myself short. I don't set these audacious goals like Mitch does because there is a fear that I will fail. And there's a fear that I will fail publicly in front of people I know, and then the I told you so's, or you proved us right, that you couldn't do it. That, if we're all honest, that is what keeps us from not being good, not being great, but being unstoppable. And just, I do admire you because he does set such huge goals that it inspires me to try to do the same for myself. That I do want to, if I want to shoot for the stars, maybe I'll land on the moon, but it's a lot better than landing in Canada. So,
or Mexico.
But
Venezuela.
Either way,
We love all. I know all the folks from the different countries are watching now. We mean no disrespect. We love all the countries. We do.
Yeah, like we literally have probably one viewer.
Yeah.
So, but with that being said, being in a circle of influence, and I know that doesn't sound very intimate, like my husband's in a circle of influence, but with somebody who does this and does this on a regular, really draws out the big dreams in me to do what I was created to be, perhaps.
And going back to you talk about being afraid to fail, I think a lot of people struggle with this idea. I see it all the time. I coach travel baseball, work with athletes. I'm not like some great coach, but working with my son, working with kids his age, and just watching people in general. What I've learned from human nature is most people are afraid to fail. And what I see them do is they will do something at about 75%, right? They'll do it at 75% because if they don't attain their goal, then they can always come back and say, well, I wasn't really trying. I've seen that over and over.
It's an excuse.
In different
I can
ways.
excuse away my
Because
failure.
they're afraid, and it's not even necessarily they're afraid. If they're afraid, their ego is afraid that if I go all out and I don't win, let's say in some athletic type of thing, if I go all out, and I used to do this, I was a fat kid when we used to have races, and when you're on the school ground and you're the fat kid, but you still want to race. And I would go 75% I wasn't really trying, that's why they beat me. I was scared to give them all and then still lose because then I'd have an excuse. I knew that I had given them all and I got beat. But here's what I like about it. Here's why I set huge goals. Because if I give it my all and I still get beat, well then now I have something more to work for. Okay, I maxed out my potential here. But I know I believe I can do more. And so even if I don't hit the goal, like I said, shoot for Pluto, land on Jupiter, all right, I got to Jupiter. But now I've maxed out my current level of potential, but now I know I can do more, right? So that's why that's what's allowed me to be successful, is that way of thinking. And you know, because you've been with me over half my life, maybe I did always think that way, but I didn't always act on it. But that's why I think setting large goals is really, really important.
Yeah, absolutely. I had something great I was going to say and then it escaped my mind.
It'll come back. So that being said, set a goal, make it specific. You need to have a specific goal. Now the action plan, this is important. We have a son, and I talk about him a lot. People think I don't love my younger son because I don't speak about him as often, but I love them both the same. I don't want to go ahead and put it out publicly. I do. He's just, you know, my younger one's just kind of, you know, a cool dude, doesn't have a whole lot to say about a lot of different things. He just kind of goes with the flow.
But he's a thinker.
Yeah,
Ooh.
very, very smart kid. My older one has, you know, all these thoughts and ideas and opinions on all sorts of things. So he wants to go to Texas A&M. God forgive all of us that, you know, we're LSU people. But my son, our oldest, loves Texas A&M. He has a goal. He wants to play baseball at Texas A&M. He wants to get a scholarship to play baseball at Texas A&M. That's a great, audacious. He's already learned from his father, hopefully, to set big goals. And it's specific. He has a specific, he doesn't just say, I want to play Division I ball, or he doesn't just say, I want to get a scholarship for baseball. He knows exactly the school that he wants to go to. So it's pretty specific for his age group. So we get to talking about it. It's like, that's a great goal, man. So now we got to set an action plan that's going to reflect you getting to that goal. So I said, you have to understand, maybe 3% of people go from high school to college in athletics. 3%, the top 3%. And even less than that get scholarships, especially for baseball. So your goal is huge, but your action plan better look very different than everyone else who plays baseball. So if what you're doing to get better at baseball looks like every other kid that you're playing baseball with right now and down the road moving forward, let me just tell you, that action plan will not get you to a Division I scholarship baseball over at Texas A&M. So I'm trying to help him understand, great goal, but now you got to do the work that the top 1% of the athletes are going to do.
To get to where you want to go, you have to do what you've never done.
Yeah. So here's how people act. Okay, maybe I set a goal, maybe it's a huge goal, maybe it's specific, great. Then maybe the next set of people go a step further. They set an action plan that actually reflects them getting to that goal. They actually do the work that will get them to that goal, right? The next level of people will be the people that execute it every day. The execution part's really the difference maker, okay?
Right there. That's what separates people who achieve greatness from the mediocre,
Yep.
from the average.
Executing every day is so difficult. One of the things that I do, and we'll talk about this in another podcast, is I have a morning routine. One of my morning routines is the first thing I do when I wake up.
The
very first thing. It's kind of a series of things, but the first thing I do is turn the coffee pot on, let the little chihuahuas outside, let them back in, and I go and I take a cold shower. Very first thing. It's 3:30 in the morning.
Ice cold.
And I make the water as cold as I can get it, and I don't bathe, I just get in that water and stand under it for about 2 minutes, and it wakes me up. Let me tell you, now that may sound crazy to some of you, but it really is important because it wakes me up, it gets my body invigorated, and it helps me launch off into a day because it's very busy that morning. I get up, I do that, drink a cup of coffee with Wendy, then I go work out, come back, get ready for work. Then it's just series after series of events. So let me just tell you, every day that I wake up, I don't feel like getting in the frigid water. I don't feel like it. But I know that it's important for me to start off my day. I've seen it make a difference in my productivity. And so I know that it's important. And so last year I started trying to do it. I lasted about a month and a half. Maybe once the pandemic.
A week.
And I just wasn't able to sustain it. My execution wasn't good. This year, I've been able to sustain it, and it's making a difference. My productivity levels are so much higher and we accomplished a lot last year, but my productivity levels are higher even this year, and that has been a key factor. But executing it every day has been huge, because I promise you, like Wendy said earlier, when I wake up, one of the first things I say is, man, I don't feel like getting in that water. But I remind myself, I don't do this because I feel like it. I do it because I made a commitment to do it. And because of who I am and I'm committed to this, I'm going to engage it. So execution, that really separates the men from the boys, the ladies from the girls, the great ones from the good ones, is the execution every single day.
Every single day. And so the last part of this is accountability.
Yep. And this is where it gets sticky. So I'm a business owner. One of the highest things that I talk about in business ownership and dealing with employees and even dealing with myself is the accountability piece. When we interview people, I talk extensively about, are you okay with being held accountable? And you know what most people say? Yes.
Hey, I'm not going to apply for this job, usually is what happens. Seriously.
Or if they do, I let it be known on the front end, hey, we're going to set goals. I give them the secret recipe to success. Goal setting, action plan, execution, accountability. I talk about that extensively. And then they come on, they're excited, and they come in, and then we set the goal, we lay out the action plan, and when they don't execute and they're held accountable, they crumble. Most people are not able to be held accountable. And I'm guilty of it at times. There's times where you hold me accountable.
Just look at social media.
Yeah. But let me tell you, the best is when I hold Wendy accountable. It is fantastic. Like, let's say she's trying to eat better, and I see her sneaking Oreos.
This is what we were talking about, Frank.
And I see her sneaking Oreos out of the cabinet, and I'm gonna just be honest. I'm not always the most tactful in my accountability holding.
And I gotta remember that. I gotta say, this is Mitch's form of love. The message is the message, no matter how it's delivered.
And so I'll say something to the effect of, hey, eating those Oreos aren't gonna help you hit your goal, so maybe you shouldn't eat them. And then usually she'll cuss me out, shoot me the bird, but then she'll go put the Oreos back. And then maybe like an hour later, she'll thank me. Like, hey,
what really happens is I say my piece because it makes me feel better, but then I'll go into the bathroom and then I'm like,
she's sweet. She cusses more than me.
Sorry, mama. But anyways, then I'll go into the bathroom and be like, he's right.
But anyway, the accountability piece is huge. Hold yourself accountable and be willing to allow others to hold you accountable. Let people know what your goals are. Let them know what your plans are. And have somebody in your life that's going to help you, push you.
That's the last piece of this, guys. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if your best friend is Debbie Downer and Negative Nancy, and no one believes in your dreams, believes in you that you can hit these goals, supports you, holds you accountable. I've heard something that was so impactful. You change your friends or change your friends. Either you can get your friends to get on this journey with you and with a mindset to support you, to encourage you and to believe in you, or to speak truth into your life. I'm not saying that you need to ditch your friends and kick them to the curb, but you need to find a new circle of influence of people that you aspire to be like, whether it's fitness goals, whether it's business goals, whatever it is. Find people who are winning in that category and surround yourself with them. It's going to make the journey a lot easier because, I have friends that this is a real thing, that were on a health journey. And not a fitness. They're not trying to get put in a bikini. They're trying to be healthier. And whenever they're at the holidays trying to avoid the deviled eggs full of cholesterol or the Popeye's chicken, their family was like, what, you too good for this food? Oh, you lost a little weight, now you're too... Like, what kind of support is that? And if you're the person that's delivering that message...
You suck.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
That's not love.
Nope, not cool at all.
Not cool at all.
But look, we're running out of time. Beautiful message from a beautiful woman.
Well, thank you.
I love it. So, hey, we didn't talk about anything in terms of where we're located. We have a few different places you can find us. We launched a little website to host the podcast on, mitchandwendy.com. Wendy is spelled with 2 I's. Mitch is spelled like bitch, but with an M, Mitch. So mitchandwendy.com.
WINDI. Whiskey, Indigo, November, Delta, Indigo.
mitchandwendy with 2 I's.com. We'll have that up, the podcast there. We'll be on YouTube, Facebook, some social media outlets. We're going to continue to build this thing out. but we'd love to, as time progresses, have the community kind of start building around these things. So find us there. If you like music, the music you heard that introed us is on SoundCloud. I think what is it, Attalise?
Yeah,
Attalise Music.
Yeah.
You can find some of that music. Some of my original music I've written with different bands over the years, from country to rock to just some demoed out acoustic type music. So check it out, Attalise Music at SoundCloud. And we're going to finish it up. We're about 4 minutes over. Before we leave, one thing of value that you want to share with the audience.
What I said earlier, you don't do things based on how you feel. There's a lot of times that people get on my nerves and I want to tell them what I think of them, but I don't.
She tells me all the time.
That's just an example. I know it sounds so whatever, but you do things based on who you are. And remember who you are. You're a person of honor, integrity. You're worthy of good things. You work hard, and you're a person that deserves the benefit of your hard work.
Amen. And I'll leave you with this. There is no hack, okay? The secret to success is this formula, and you can apply this to every aspect, every facet of your life. Set a goal. Have an action plan, execute it every day, hold yourself accountable. I promise you that will change your life. Apply it and it will work every single time. Thanks for listening. This is Mitch and Wendy. We want to be a blessing, and hopefully you found some value in what we've had to say today.
Thanks for checking in.